Okay, so let's go ahead and just hop right into the setup. Figured to make this little build video, just like making another build video and go over you know, a fun way to really burn everything in this game. Now, obviously we're going to be completely taking advantage of firing the Skag gun with the setup. So the very first thing I want to mention that's more important than anything is probably getting yourself a Minesweeper with as much fire in the Skag gun as possible. If you want to go for 4 of them fire in the Skag gun and then like 1 in the redistribution, that'd also be really wise, because that could be really useful for something like your Sandhawk or even your Bloodstar Beast, for example. That'll really allow you to keep a little bit more sustainability in your mag, and you know just not have to worry about going through as much ammo, because the Sandhawk obviously goes through a lot. The Bloodstar Beast at ×2 is very solid, and not having to reload as much as something like a ×3 does. But if you do have a ×3 one, then that extra redistribution will help for sure. So try and get at least, I would definitely try and shoot for at least 3. And then the passive, you just want to get something that just complements your entire setup. Obviously, splash damage and splash damage radius are gonna always be really good, and then grenade damage on a Minesweeper always helps with the Minesweeper and grenades themselves, so those are always really good as well. So that's also another passive you can look for on your Minesweeper. But yeah, I figured we go ahead hit the high note with that. And then we have our old god here. Just make sure you have a fire one, obviously, because you want as much fire damage as possible with the setup. Now your ASC anointment, that does not have to be fire. That could be any element you want. If it's, you maybe want cryo, radiation, or corrosive, by all means go for it. Just make sure you at least have the actual fire one itself, just to give you extra 20% of your matching element. So yeah, and then your grenade honestly doesn't matter all that much. We're just using a CMT. Because CMT is just overall really versatile, especially with a Minesweeper. It can really put out some extra nades, which is really good. Everybody knows this. CMTs and Minesweepers work really well together, for sure. I guess we'll go ahead. Oh, well, artifacts. It's the Pearl, dude. A lot of our guns are consec kits, so the Pearl's just going to obviously work the best with it. Now, if you don't have the Pearl, obviously any Vic Rush would work really good, for sure. Snowdrift could be really well, work really well as well. But yeah, I mostly just love the Pearl for this setup. So once again, we're basically just using all fire weapons, and then something to do some massive AoE or boss damage. The Plague Bearer is obviously good at everything it does, especially with fire damage. This thing can almost one-shot Grave Ward. If you could get one with consec kits, that would be really good. But we don't, so we're just running one with Splash AC. I mean, even running this with like no anointment. Well, whenever we're not hopping frequently on Iron Bear, this thing will still melt because it's a Plague Bearer on Moze. So yeah, Bloodstar Beast, if you don't have DLC 2, or DLC 2, if you don't have DLC 4, Maybe you have DLC 3, a flipper can work really well on here. I just don't put the flipper in all my builds except for one, because the flipper is just such a fucking brain dead easy gun. That's saying that the Bloodstar Beast is also a really good gun, but the flipper is just like overwhelmingly insane. Other guns that could be really good in here, a Lucky 7 could be good. I mean, okay, like any meta weapons, even maybe Prompt Critical, Fire Chaos, an Ogre could be really good as well. Even a Diggs Boom, stuff like that. Basically, any solid fire weapons is mainly what you're looking for here. Sandhawk is obviously just insane. Recently, the showcase on this one, this gun is just so gosh darn good. And then I really love the Boomsicle. It might shoot a little slow, but that can set kits, and it being natural splash damage with Minesweepers, it just makes this thing really hit like a freaking freight train. Yeah, and it's really fun. Then we have our skill points here. Basically, in your shield distribution tree, you just want to basically get all the way down to experimental munitions, run your drowning in brass, get all the good jazz. This mainly all you really need from the shield distribution tree. Bottomless max tree. This is generally a setup I go for a lot. So some of these guns you will actually get pretty low, so click will become in very use. Some for the road is very good for something like the Sandhawk. Specialist Bear is just really good. I love Hammer Down Protocol, so I always get Specialist Bear whenever I can. Obviously, you definitely want to get your Forge. Max out your Scorching RPMs for sure. Get your Scrappy. Get your Russian Offensive, and obviously get your Redistribution. And then, I don't need to explain why we get Cloud of Lead and Stoke the Embers. Demolition Woman. We have one less in the Torch Cross promotion. So we can get extra, at least one into Grizzled. Figured that'd be the best place to pull our points from. Obviously, Mean Destruction is very good. We need to get as much fire in the Skagden as possible. Max that out. Get your Pull the Holy Pin for your CMT so they can create Minesweeper grenades for you. That's really good. Auto Bear is just overall good as well. Where else are you going to put a one skill point and get as much bang for your buck for it other than Auto Bear? Vampire, yes, only two. You only need two with the CMT. I find that you generally only need two just in general with most things. So yeah, definitely don't put too many skill points into this skill. 2 is definitely plenty, and then to the last just so I can throw my CMP as well and fight for your life, and then short fuse just because it gives you so much extra gun damage and you cannot ignore that damage. Augments for your Iron Bear. I always get Hammer Down Protocol whenever I can because it's so good, and if you can't, just get Hells on Rails or Capacitive Armor. But yeah, guys, other than that, that is gonna just go about over the build and the setup. I just figured just go ahead, make a nice little Fire Moze build, dude. It's really powerful with the fire in the Skagden, especially with some things like the Bloodstar Beast. Our Boomsicle is also really good, and then obviously the Sandhawk and Plaguebear just rounded out. If you have any other good fire weapons, they'll work well on here. But yeah, it's not like the build's not too picky on guns. I mean, any fire gun honestly can be really good on Moze. I just figured these are some of the best ones to round everything out. And yeah, anyways, guys, hope y'all did enjoy the video. My name's Kree, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.